In this video, I'll show you how to enable over-the-air uploading of your ESP32-CAM, and I'll show you how to solve some common problems that you might have during the uploading process. So in my previous video, I went over the ESP32-CAM and showed you how to set up a web streaming service with Wi-Fi. But what I want to do now is I want to take this board and I want to plug it into my breadboard and do some programming. Well, the issue is that it doesn't have a USB connection, so the shield that I have here needs to be removed. And to avoid plugging in and unplugging the shield or an FTI adapter, I want to just be able to send some quick updates right over Wi-Fi and make my life easier. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do. The first thing we want to do here is set up the board and load the OTA sketch that we need in order to make this work. Now there are two sketches possible in the examples. One is the basic OTA and the other is the OTA web updater. Now the basic OTA is the one I like the most because with this one all you need to do is set this up and then you can have a port that you can select and upload any new sketches right to the port, and it's really a slam dunk. Alright, now let's go over how we're going to set this up. We need to go into the Arduino IDE and make a couple of changes in order to get this to work. First thing we need to do is select the correct board. Now I'm using the AI Thinker ESP32-CAM. Yours might be different, but for this tutorial and the previous tutorial, these are the boards that I bought, and you can check those out. I have product links in the description below. So if you're going to follow along with those boards, that's the board we're going to use. The next thing we'd have to do is select the correct partition scheme, and this is critical. The scheme we need to select is a minimal with the OTA, and if you don't select this scheme, then what will happen is that it will fail to upload and you will get errors. You will be able to upload it the first time, but when you try and do it over Wi-Fi, you're going to get an error like this. Here I've compiled the sketch and uploaded it by serial, but when you try to do it over Wi-Fi, then it just fails. So over in the partition scheme, I just selected the second one right there, and it works perfectly. In the basic OTA sketch, you will see you have an area here where you can set the host name. I'm going to go ahead and use this so that when I see it in the network port, it will have a custom name, and I'm just going to name it after the AI Thinker board that I have. We're going to load the basic OTA, and we're going to look for these two lines, the SSID and the password. And the SSID is simply your network name, and the password is obviously your password. So change those, and then we're ready to upload the sketch. And we'll be uploading with the serial port. So over in the serial monitor, you can see that we have an IP address, 192.168.50.52. So now we are ready to go. So now what we can do is we can disconnect, and then I'm just going to put it into this power supply for demonstration purposes. Okay, so now we have it powered up, disconnected from the computer. And you can now go over to the Arduino IDE and go onto the network ports and select the network port that we just created, which is the AI Thinker. I'm just going to upload the same sketch just for an example, but I'll show you how to add new code. But we just want to test to see if it works. So we'll go ahead and set upload, and it will compile the sketch and then connect to the Wi-Fi network and update the code. Now that we have over-the-air functioning, let's see how we can add new code to our ESP32. Okay, so now I want to demonstrate how we can change the sketch and upload it in real time with something new. So just to make it simple, we're going to do a blink sketch, and there is an LED right here. This is the flash. This is pin number 4, and I don't recommend trying that one because it is very, very bright. So what I'm going to do is I've got a little voltage regulated here. We got about, I don't know, 12 to 24 volts here. And then this is a 5-volt voltage regulator. And then going into the pin here in the upper left hand corner, this is the 5-volt input. and the next one is the ground, so this goes to ground. So you don't want to power any more than 5 volts, and a lot of people have had trouble with the 3 volt input, so we're just going to stick with 5 volts. Now in my sketch, I have selected this pin, and this pin is pin number 2. Number 4 is this first one, and now we have pin number 2. So stay away from 4 for the time being. And then we're going to, this is a general input and output pin, and we're going to put this through a resistor and then through an LED. So over in the sketch, I want to talk about how you can do this and talk about tips and tricks. Again, I had some issues with a standard blink because generally a standard blink test uses a LED state high with a delay and then low with a delay. And what this causes, the delay causes the program to pause. And so if you are in a pause part and you try and upload a new sketch, it won't work. It'll just say that it can't be found. So we're going to create a sketch here that looks at the current time and compares the current time with the time we last blinked, and then turn the state on or off based on that. So here at the top, below the credentials, we're going to define the LED pin number 2. Now, we're also define the previous time in milliseconds, the interval that we want to blink, and the LED state. The current one is going to be low, and then we'll start off with low, and then it'll go high. Then we go through the setup, and this is the setup for the OTA, so you have to do this in a certain way. Now, going at the bottom, we go through the loop. We're going to call the OTA handle, and then we're going to put in our custom code right here. The first thing I need to do is uncomment this. I had it commented out for troubleshooting, but now that it's uncommented, let's upload this sketch and take a look. And now our LED is blinking. So now as long as we add the OTA programming every time we upload this new sketches, we can change this at will. And so now we have freed ourselves from the USB connection, and we can do this over the air, and it's just really simple and straightforward. Now I'll put a product link in the description below for the ESP32 boards that I bought. And if you want to see the full tutorial, head on over to my blog, madscientistguy.com. So I hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you next time.